Only a few more days until we finally see the Denver Broncos hit the field for offseason OTAs. But while we wait, there's a major trade rumor heating up, and it involves a potential playmaker landing in Denver. Is this a move worth making, or should the Broncos stay patient? Plus, we're hearing promising updates on the Broncos' run game. Audric Esteem and RJ Harvey are already turning heads and could be a dynamic duo in the backfield this season. Let's dive into it. This is the time of year when Sean Payton starts getting aggressive. He's known for making moves in the offseason, and this could be no different. In the past, Denver has traded away players like Albert Okwuegbunam after evaluating positional depth and brought in key additions like kicker Will Lutz to upgrade special teams. Last year, there were even talks with the 49ers about a possible deal involving Courtland Sutton. The Broncos front office knows that next offseason they'll have tough decisions to make. Several high-impact players are heading toward free agency, and the team has to choose. Lock them up with new contracts or explore trade options now to get value in return. Take a look at the current pass rush unit, arguably one of the most productive in the NFL, but that success comes at a price. Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers, and Nick Bonito are all due for new deals. The Broncos simply won't be able to re-sign everyone. So what's the plan? Do they stick with a rotation of younger edge rushers like Quentin Robbins and Savell Smalls? Can Jonah Ellis take that next step? Will Dondre Tillman continue his upward trend? These decisions won't be easy, and while there's hope that players like Quinn Miners and Patrick Surtain might be willing to accept team-friendly deals, it's clear the Broncos are facing some tough roster choices in the near future. The Broncos have built something special, a winning culture that players genuinely want to be part of. There's a college-like energy around this team right now, and it shows. But even with players potentially willing to take hometown discounts, the reality is the salary cap limits what's possible. Denver simply won't be able to retain every impact player on this loaded roster. And honestly, that's a good problem to have. It means the talent is deep, and it's up to Sean Payton and the front office to keep finding and developing the next wave. Right now, the biggest question is which defensive stars the Broncos can afford to keep. Names like Zach Allen, Nick Bonito, and John Franklin Myers are all approaching the end of their deals. Realistically, Denver may only be able to keep one or two of them. That's leading to some intriguing trade scenarios. One recent rumor making waves online suggests the Broncos could send John Franklin Myers to the Detroit Lions and in return receive wide receiver Jameson Williams. On the surface, that sounds like a blockbuster move. Williams is explosive and Denver does need more firepower on offense, but there's a catch. Reports suggest this wouldn't be a simple one-for-one swap. The full package being floated includes not just Franklin Myers, but also one of Bo Nix's top receiving targets from college, a guy who went 8 for 8 in his first game before a rib injury derailed his momentum. Add a second-round pick on top of that, and Denver would only be getting Jameson Williams plus a fourth-rounder in return. That's a steep price. Now, Williams is electric, there's no denying that. His speed is next level, and his ability to turn a reverse or jet sweep into a touchdown is something you just can't teach. But he's also faced multiple suspensions, and there are questions about consistency and reliability. So what do you think? Is that trade worth it? Let us know in the comments. Should the Broncos pull the trigger or pass on this one? Jameson Williams is undeniably talented, but there are some serious concerns. On the field, he's electric, capable of making highlight reel plays every time he touches the ball. Off the field, though, it's a different story. He's had multiple suspensions and even drew attention for a celebration penalty straight out of a comedy sketch. It's the kind of behavior that raises red flags about discipline and maturity. Could Sean Payton get him to buy in and play the right way? Possibly. Payton runs a tight ship in Denver and demands accountability. But here's the thing. If a coach like Dan Campbell, who's known for his strong leadership, couldn't consistently get through to Williams, that says a lot. It makes you wonder if his upside is worth the risk. And that's the heart of the debate. Williams has game-breaking speed, but trading away someone like John Franklin Myers to get him, plus throwing in a rising receiver and a second-round pick, feels like too much. Franklin Myers brings serious value to the Broncos' defense. He's physical, he sets the tone, and he's one of the emotional leaders of the locker room. He was the one who coined the phrase young and hungry to define this squad, and he lives it. There's a great piece in The Athletic that breaks down Denver's recent draft class. While a lot of attention is going to players like Jaden Barron, R.J. Harvey, and Pat Bryant, there's also major praise for edge rushers like Quentin Robbins and Savell Jones. In fact, some analysts believe Savell Jones could be the steal of the draft based on his athletic profile, and nobody's really talking about it yet. That said, even if you trust in the young depth on this roster, you still need proven guys who can disrupt games. Look at how the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Relentless front four pressure without even blitzing. They overwhelmed Patrick Mahomes with just their defensive line. That's the model. So if it's up to me, I'm keeping John Franklin Myers. He's part of what makes this defense tick. Find a way to pay him and keep the core of this pass rush intact. Because in today's NFL, pressure wins games, and the Broncos can't afford to lose their edge. Let's talk about the Broncos' backfield, because it might be one of the most underrated units heading into the season. Fox Sports recently released a graphic that highlighted a growing trend in the NFL: the decline of the traditional bell cow running back. The days of one player handling the entire rushing load are fading. Today's most successful offenses are leaning on dynamic duos and sometimes even trios of backs to carry the ground game. Think about teams like the Ravens, who racked up nearly 3,000 rushing yards thanks to the combined threat of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, or the Eagles, with their lethal mix of Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. That kind of dual-threat ground attack is becoming the new standard, and it looks like Sean Payton is building something similar in Denver. Enter R.J. Harvey and Audric Estime. This could be the Broncos' version of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in Detroit, a power-speed combo that keeps defenses guessing. In Detroit, they called it Sonic and Knuckles, one guy with breakaway speed, the other delivering punishing runs between the tackles. Audric Estime is the bruiser in this scenario, a downhill runner who wears down defenses over 4 quarters. He's the type of back defenders don't want to see in the fourth quarter when legs are tired and hits hurt more. His size, strength, and physicality make him the enforcer of this backfield. Then there's R.J. Harvey, the lightning to Estime's thunder. Harvey brings burst, agility, and excellent hands out of the backfield. He's the change of pace back who can take advantage of mismatches in space, catch passes on wheel routes, and turn short plays into big gains. But don't label him just a change of pace guy. His versatility and vision could allow him to shine in a featured role when needed. Sean Payton loves to manipulate defenses and create mismatches. With this two-headed monster in the backfield, he'll have the tools to attack in multiple ways: power inside, speed to the edge, and receiving threats out of the backfield. This could be one of the most creative and effective ground games in the league if everything clicks. As we count down the final days before OTAs kick off in Denver, the roster is starting to take shape, but there are still some decisions left to make. The Broncos still have a bit of cap space remaining. Instead of using that money on a flashy free agent signing, the smarter move might be to lock up key contributors already on the roster. We've seen other teams like the Cowboys and Bengals pay the price for delaying deals. Massive contracts later for players like Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, and Trey Hendrickson. Denver has a chance to be proactive. Why not secure core pieces now, before their price tags climb even higher? Still, there are a few intriguing free agents being linked to the Broncos. Predominantly Orange recently highlighted 3 names that could be worth a look. First up, linebacker. But with Alex Singleton returning healthy and Dre Greenlaw added to the mix, Denver's linebacker unit looks stronger than it has in years. This group is already a major upgrade over last season, and they've shown they can hold their own even without these two on the field. Then there's the J.K. Dobbins suggestion. It's an interesting idea, but right now the Broncos' backfield is in great shape. R.J. Harvey brings so much promise and upside that it feels like the team is already set at running back. Unless an injury occurs, investing more in that position doesn't feel necessary. The final name is a familiar one, DeMarcus Walker. He's produced well elsewhere, and a reunion could be tempting. But again, priority should be given to retaining the players who've earned their spot in Denver through consistent recent production. Let's reward the guys making an impact now. And of course, there's still speculation surrounding veteran wideout Keenan Allen. Could Denver make a surprise move to bring in another playmaker? It's possible, but with so many young receivers already in the mix, it would have to be the right price and fit. One thing's clear, Broncos country has a lot to be excited about. The pieces are coming together and the team has a real shot to surprise people this season. Let's keep building the right way. Ball, don't Lieutenant.